welcome to Spoonfed Daily with your host, Andrew McMahon. I am Andrew McMahon, streaming live from the greatest city in the world, Chicago, Illinois. How is everyone doing? I hope well. I hope you and yours are doing well with everything. I've been, hi, Rockel. Welcome. Rockel came in, Rockel went out. Let's see. I've been doing some different things today besides my normal show, which is this one at 5 o'clock, because I've been a little less work today. I'm going to have a lot more work tomorrow. But I figured since I had a little more time today, jump on. My kids seem happy. The husband seems happy. So, you know, I am happy when I can hang out with you guys. So I figured I would. I'm going to go into the archives of News of the Weird and see what kind of articles we have here. Real quick, though, I'm also going to, because I'm streaming this, I'm also going to open up. Hi, Nova. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I have some News of the Weird that we're going to look at. Open a browser. There we go. Then I have the chat up for everybody. And I got my News of the Weird ready to go. How have you been? I missed you during Cards Against Humanity lunchtime chat. Hope you're doing quite well. Okay, here's my News of the Weird. Two American tourists, Joseph DeSalvi, 38, and Travis DeSalvi, 36, of San Diego were arrested in Bangkok, Thailand, and detained in an immigration detention center after they posted a butt selfie on Instagram, taken in front of a Buddhist temple, Wat Arun, or Temple of the Dawn. The pair's Instagram account, Traveling Butts, showcased their hindquarters at tourist sites around the world, but it was deleted shortly after the arrest. District Police Chief Junfant Thongelmore, I'm sure I said that correctly, told Reuters that the two would also be fined for a similar photo if at a different temple. That's very interesting. I've always kind of wondered that, like, people who take pictures at like funerals or like sacred places, you know, sacred sites. I've always kind of wondered, like, why? Why are you doing this? Like, what is it about this place that you want to remember it in this way? Right? No, cool. I'm glad you're here. All right. News story. I think it just takes a special kind of person to like want to take pictures at sacred places. You know what I mean? All right. In Birmingham, England, renowned for 53-year-old surgeon Simon Bramhall pleaded guilty to branding his initials into human livers using an Aragon beam during transplant surgeries. What? Was he the one doing the transplants? A colleague first noticed the initials SB in 2013 on an organ during a follow-up surgery, which sparked the investigation. The Guardian reported Bramhall resigned in 2014 and acknowledged that marking his patients' livers had been a mistake. A mistake? Like it was a cutesy prank? But former patient Tracy Scriven of Wiltshire told the Birmingham Mail that he should be reinstated. Is it really that bad? I wouldn't have cared if he did it to me. The man saved my life. It's kind of like signing a painting, I guess. Like you signed the liver that you transplanted. That seems crazy. I guess, I don't know. Did you ever see the video of the dentist that like was on a hoverboard and he was like doing dentistry on the hoverboard? I feel like that, you know, it's like, but at least he was doing it for the gram. He wasn't just like secretly branding people with his initials on the surgery table. Let's see. Jess Burbum, 32, of Rockland, California, tried using a favorite trick of old St. Nick, but he got stuck in the chimney of Citrus Heights business he was trying to rob and had to call police for help. ABC News reported that Sacramento firefighters responded and used special equipment to free him, who now faces 1 count of burglary. Citrus Heights police said he does not have the same skills as the real deal. I mean, who has the same skills as the imaginary person who goes down chimneys? I think anyone who thinks that the story of Santa climbing down your chimney is based on a documentary probably deserves to be stuck in a chimney. That's my thoughts. That's my TED Talk. Thanks for showing up, guys. Let's see. News story. These are from the archives, by the way, because all the recent stories are all about coronavirus. And let's take a frigging break from that, right? Okay. Loretta Taylor of Burlington, Ontario, Canada, responsible for meting out her family's inheritance after her father's death, sent a bank draft last February to her brother Louis Paul Herbert for $846,648.46. That's so specific. Via UPS. Herbert waited at his local UPS store for the check to arrive, but nothing came in. I came back in the evening, nothing shows up, and he told the CBC UPS could trace the package only to its distribution center north of Toronto. So along with an apology for Herbert's inconvenience, UPS refunded the $32 shipping fee. Taylor's bank, TD Canada Trust, initially assured her the check would be canceled, but 2 days later refused to issue a new draft until Taylor signed an indemnity agreement making her and her heirs liable for life should the original check be cashed. Not only that, the bank then asked her to put up collateral against the new bank draft, but that request was later recalled. Finally, 10 months after the whole ordeal began, the bank released the money, and Herbert, at press time in December, was making the 273-mile drive to pick up the check in person. I mean, when you got that kind of money on the line, right? Warlord, welcome to the show. Warlord came in and bounced out. Nice. Yeah, it's, I mean, I remember, okay, we had last year, like at this time, our rental property had a pipe that burst. It was a nightmare. And I had quite an ordeal to deal with State Farm because it was not our fault. ComEd, our electric company, shut off the electricity to the condo. Hi, Kobe, how are you doing? Yeah. So like, anyway, it was ComEd's fault. And I had to talk State Farm into like doing all this stuff for us or whatever. But anyway, State Farm sends us a check for $20,000. And I was like, why would you send me a check for that? Why wouldn't you do an auto draft into my bank account? A $20,000 check could get lost in the mail. And they were like, oh, well, you didn't ask for that service. And I was like, why would you mail $20,000 to someone? That is, and I was like at the mailbox every day, constantly, like, I better get this check. Anyway, check came, check cleared. Whew, people mailing that amount of money is bananas to me. Bananas. Hi, Nugget. Welcome. News story. An unnamed newborn boy underwent surgery at a scientific research institute of pediatrics in Baku to remove a small remainder of parasitic twin that had attached itself to the baby's back. A penis. Head of the institute's neurology department reported to Metro News in December that the baby has a normal sexual organ where it's supposed to be and a penis on its back. It's been surgically removed. The newborn was not traumatized by the surgery and is already at home with his parents. Could you imagine, as a fun fact, when you're going through life, That's so funny. Caitlin like bounced in and bounced out. She's downstairs. Could you imagine, like, fun fact, going through life and having someone be like, tell us something interesting about yourself. Like, I was born with 2 penises. What? 2 penises? Yeah, one was on my back, totally fully functional, but my parents were like, no, he's not going to have a penis on his back. So they did a back circumcision that just lanced the whole sucker right off. That's my assumption of what happened. Okay. Let's see. These are weird stories today. British model Chloe Hammond, 27, also known as Chloe Rebel, succumbed to a fit of road rage on March 19th when Julie Holloway, 56, tapped on her car window and asked her to stop using her phone while driving in traffic in London. Metro News reported that Hammond responded by parking her Audi TT and then came out of nowhere towards the Holloway, kicking her in the stomach, grabbing Holloway's hair and biting off a piece of her ear. Oh, no. Holloway, bloodied and disturbed, didn't realize part of her ear was missing until someone picked it up off the floor. In October, Hammond was convicted of causing grievous bodily harm with intent in Southwark Crown Court. A judge sentenced her to 5 years in jail. 5 years in jail for biting the ear? Woo-hoo! I mean, what about guys who get into like bar fights and stuff? They never do any time in jail because they're, well, I don't know, because they're men. That's what I want to say. You stupid men biting. If a guy bit an ear off, he wouldn't go to jail. I don't know. Did Mike Tyson go to jail for biting an ear off? That's the first thing I think of. Avery, welcome to the show. Reading some fun stories. Feel free to jump in the chat. Don't you ever just want to get away? An unnamed man in Catherine Way, England, started digging a very deep hole in his yard weeks ago, but caused a neighborhood disruption when he climbed into the hole and refused to come out. Neighbor Dominic Denny told the Bath Chronicle that it started at about 4 a.m. when there was a lot of shouting and screaming coming from the house opposite me. The young man's family was outside trying to get him back in the house. Emergency responders from a variety of services converged on the scene, even bringing a crane to lower into the hole to retrieve the man. A spokesperson for Avon and Somerset Police later reported the incident was resolved and the man got out of the hole on his own accord. Hi, Avery. Welcome to Spoon. Oh, and thank you for the spoon. That was so nice of you. And Avery's still here. Kobe went away. Hopefully it'll come back. Thanks for stopping by and giving me a spoon. That's so sweet of you. I love that there's like, he got in the hole and he was like, I'm not getting out of this hole. And you can't do nothing to get me out of the hole. Oh my. Doesn't anyone remember Jessica in the Well? Why would you dig a hole and like sit in the hole like a little toddler and be like, I'm not getting out of this hole. Nothing you could do to get me out of the hole. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get out of the hole. It's a very deep hole in his yard. Oh my. Alrighty. An employee at TCBY Yogurt. Oh my gosh, is that even still a place? In North Carolina, got a surprise while opening 3 packages delivered to the store filled with $220,000 worth of marijuana. Wow. Upon further investigation, the store told WSOC-TV the package had been delivered mistakenly and was meant for a P.O. box and the postal store next door. While the origin of the package is still unknown, the drugs and the recipient's information have been turned over to police, who reported that no arrests had been made. Oh man, why do you gotta do that? TCBY, are you so afraid of the capos that you like needed to turn over the skank? I don't know anything about marijuana, guys. I'm really lame when it comes to that. What do they call it? The fashizzle and my nizzle? Nikki, hi, welcome. Welcome to the show. I'm reading some weird stories. Feel free to jump in the chat. The Mirror reports that the flight attendant with Umarki Air in China had been suspended after a coworker captured her on video eating from an in-flight meal meant for passengers. Ooh, in the video, a line of open meals is on the shelf in front of the female attendant, who samples from at least 2 of them with a spoon. The airline said in a statement that the meals were leftovers, not handouts to the passengers, and it was launching a full investigation. Oh my. Hi. Crazy. I mean, don't they get to eat a meal if it's a long flight, don't they get a meal? I don't know. I don't know anything about air flight attendants. I've always secretly had a fantasy that I'll be an air flight attendant someday, go to crazy places and get to do the seatbelt thing, but make it my own in in a cutesy way. Do the seatbelt like they used to do on Virgin Airlines, make a dance or a rap out of it. Buckle your seatbelt, and if the sign's on, don't get up. I don't know. It's a job, right? It's a job like anything else, but I also think it in my brain, it seems like a super fun job rather than a glorified waitress that also has to be highly trained in emergencies. The movies have taught me, if nothing else, the movies. All right. Israel Perez Rangel, 38, of Santa Ana, California, raised suspicions begging for money at a service station to put gas in his 2015 Ferrari 458 Spider he was driving. A $300,000 car was in rough shape, according to Los Angeles Times, with cracked fins, emblems torn from the body, and vomit caked on the side. Yikes, somebody had a fun night. When Santa Ana police arrived, Rangel ran away, but he was caught nearby hiding in the bushes. Car owner Susan Friedman of Laguna Beach had left the Ferrari at a Costa Mesa service center in October, where it was stolen, and the surveillance video confirmed it was Rangel who nicked the hot rod. Luckily for Friedman, her insurance company cut her a check, and she replaced the Ferrari with a 2018 Lamborghini Hurricane. I love it, she said. I know. Crazy, right? Crazy. I mean, these stories are bananas. That's why I love this site. It's got all these weird news stories. Feel free, if you guys are watching this, jump in the chat. Let me know your thoughts on these stories. Visitors to South Korea of the Winter Olympics may want to make a side trip to Head Dancing Park near the coastal town of Sanam. The park was known as Penis Park. Opened to the public in 2007, it was dedicated to the memory of a virgin bride-to-be left behind by her fisherman fiancé. Locals told the Mirror that after being abandoned, the bride was swept out to sea and drowned, causing fish to leave the area. Now her spirit can only be soothed by the sight of male genitalia. The park features nearly 300 erect phallus statues, and about 12,000 visitors take in the titillating sights each year, most of them women. Oh my Lord. It's just like a sea of penis statues. Just oh my God. What a weird thing to make an erect statue to. Pardon the pun intended, if you will. What a strange and weird thing to have. It just seems amazing. That's just amazing. That's all I have to say. It's amazing. Let me get to other News of the Weird archives. 1 second for another set of archive stories. Just why, right? Why would you have an erect statue penis museum out in the world? Let's see. A Tesla showroom in Salt Lake, Utah, was the nexus of 4 different arrests on November 24th, according to Salt Lake Tribune, in which at least 2 of the suspects claimed to be part of the Tesla family. The car company is named after investor Nikola Tesla, not a family owner. In the first arrest, a Tesla pulled up behind the Utah Highway Patrol car at a stoplight, and the officer noticed that the driver number 1 was acting suspicious, in quotes. When the officer pulled him over, the 24-year-old driver said a man he hardly knew gave him the car keys to 3 other Teslas, When the officer and the driver returned to the showroom, it had been burglarized. But driver number 1 explained that the burglary had occurred before he got to the dealership, so he felt he was allowed to take the vehicle and keys. Area officers were alerted, and 31-year-old driver number 2 led troopers on a short chase until his Tesla battery died. Later, driver number 3, 19, was pulled over in West Valley, and finally, driver number 4, a 27-year-old woman, was stopped at a liquor store and told the police a man named Tesla had given her the car. That's what, of course. Of course. That's the best story. Like, not my car. Some guy named Tesla just gave me this Tesla. Like, whatever. Like, that's not, whatever, I just found it. It's not my weed. It's just like, it must have flown in the window with the breeze. Like, that's amazing. We actually have 2 people claiming their name is Tesla and a family member died and left them these cars. It's one of those cases where you just have to scratch your head and say, really? Yeah. I'm with you, coppers. Like, why is that like an amazing excuse? Like, I could use that excuse for like anything. Like, this car was reported stolen. That's weird. I own this car. Well, it was reported that it's not your car and your name's not registered. And that's totally strange because I totally bought this car. It's totally my car. What name is on it? Because that's my name. No, I'm not going to give you my ID. That's totally not, because it's totally my car. So why don't you just back the heck off, coppers? Amazing. Excuse my cough. All right, news story. Ariel, 26, of Huntington, New York, reasonably arrived at the Northport Police Department in Village Justice Court on December 4th to answer a summons issued in May for possession of marijuana. But before she could even park her car, Ariel, who was on her phone, attracted the attention of officers by cutting off an unmarked police vehicle and wheeling into the spot reserved for the chief of police. The Long Islander News reported that when officers approached the car and Ariel rolled down her window, a cloud of marijuana smoke poured out, and she was promptly arrested for possession again, along with getting a ticket for using her cell phone while driving. She was able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and appear before the court for both charges. The marijuana cigarettes get you again. You know what I mean? It always happens. That's what I say. It always happens to the best of us. To the best of us? Maybe. I don't know. I don't smoke the weeds or ingest it or eat it or... Hi, King Stan. Welcome to the show. Reading some fun stories here. Meanwhile, in Newberry, South Carolina, 31-year-old Franklin Del Hayes of Midlands appeared at his trial for his 3rd charge of possession of methamphetamines. At his first day of trial came to a close, the state reports Hayes was ordered into custody. But when Newberry County Sheriff's deputies searched him before locking him up, they found 4 grams of meth in his pants pockets. Without knowledge of his new meth discovery, the jury sentenced Hayes to 9 years in prison. So this guy just like showed up to court with meth in his pockets? How is that even like, how would you, here's how I can get down with this. Like, you know, sometimes you forget money in your pockets. Sometimes you're like, I didn't remember putting that in my pockets, right? Like honest mistake. But also, you'd think about it if you're going to court. Like, oh, I gotta make sure that I don't have any thing that I could go away for, like, in my pockets right now. I guess unless you're a meth head and, like, you just forget about those kinds of things, or you're very unorganized because of meth, is what I assume. I assume all of those things to be true. Let's see. New story. Popeye's preferred diet of spinach to pump up his biceps had to be healthier than what a Russian man had been injecting. Kryl Trenshin, 21, of southwestern Russia, concocts a dangerous muscle-enhancing solution of olive oil, lidocaine, and benzoyl alcohol and injects it into his arm muscles, resulting in bazooka arms that doctors say may become paralyzed or even have to be amputated. He has so far used 6 liters of fluid in his biceps, measuring 23 inches. Oh my gosh. But he plans to continue injecting until they reach 27 inches. I would like to get more than 1 million subscribers on Instagram and to stop working. He told the Daily Mail he considered an offer to become a porn star. I love to be recognized. Oh my. I mean, that's where becoming an influencer really like goes over the edge, right? Like you could have your arms amputated or be paralyzed. Yeah, well, how many likes did my picture get? Like that feels like that's where our world is going, you know? It was fun and games until a drunk naked man and his also naked companion crashed into a